and good morning and welcome to Julie Hall Designs. Okay, so I'm trying a new setup today which is allowing me to go through both Facebook and YouTube for those who don't have the ability to access Facebook. So I'm a little bit hesitant and just checking to see what's going to happen and what is working. Give me 2 seconds and I can then... And hi, how are we all going today? As always, my name is Julie Hall and I'm very happy to be here with you today. Behind me you can see Louise Fredericks, who's moving because I've changed my office around this week. So Louise is setting herself up ready to stitch today. And you can also see our new, my little wall of fame there that I've got setting up with the first 6 blocks of the boutique series. I've got the Christmas Sunday stitch along in the background, and I've also got my samples for my bag of the month club so far. And I can see we've got Beva Turpin. Thank you for joining us. How are you going today? Okay, so I am, as you know, we are going to look at the Rock The Casbah collection, and I laid mine out yesterday, and I'll show you what mine is looking like. Sorry, I'm just trying to find it on my computer here. Okay. Michelle Reynolds, thank you for joining us. Happy to have you. And I saw the post that you put on about your morning tea, and the word that came out of my mind was not very complimentary. So here is, okay, and I might have to change captions depending on what it does to me. So here is my layout of my first 9 months so far. And I'm really happy with how that's coming along. And today we are going to look at month 10. So what I've got, and I have done a little bit of pre-stitching. I've got some other pretty things to show you later on as well. So I have stitched out my first 2 blocks here so far, and I'm going to work on block 25 today. Now, I went through yesterday because I was starting to worry about whether or not I would have enough of my main fabric left. So I went and I cut up the last 13 blocks, and whilst I was at it, I cut up backing fabric. That's not me, is it? That's you.
It's me.
That's good. I'd hate to think that I was bing-bonging and not knowing why. I've cut up my backing fabric and my wadding. So I am ready to rock and roll. Thank you. Willing, we are getting out of lockdown this week. So I have my hoop and I've got my tearaway all ready. And actually the one thing I am going to do before I start this one is I'm going to come through and pin the outline with T-pins. And are you nearly finished with that wash away?
Yeah, can I just go?
Of course.
I just got to do the top fabric.
So all this does is makes sure, and Michelle, I do hope your darling husband appreciates his morning tea. And given the amount that you purchased, I hope that you share it with him. So what the T-pins do is they stop the cutaway or the poly mesh from being able to suck in, and it just keeps the size of the design and any shrinkage of the block to an absolute minimum. Now, there's not that much stitching on this block, so it really wasn't necessary, but block 25 has a little bit more to it. So, how's everybody's week been? We had a beautiful weekend here. I got so much done. We cleaned up our backyard. It was just wonderful. And I'm using the fabrics today. I'm going to use my pink, yellow, and orange on this block number 25. And I think that's Louise finished her block or her wash away. And I bit the bullet yesterday. I finally ran out of my wash away and I had to open up a new pack.
So did I, guys. 2 weeks ago. I got a nice big one from you.
Now, because I've cut this to the correct size, what I'm actually going to do is just draw the outline with the first colourway, and then I can put down the wash away and the fabric in one fell swoop. It doesn't matter if you don't have it all perfectly cut out.
Your box. Thank you. I love it.
Oh, T-pins are good.
Ever since I've been using it, all my designs have been working beautifully.
And it was a girlfriend with a long arm. I'd never seen the T-pins before, but a girlfriend with a long arm put me onto them.
Oh.
Okay, so...
And I also marked my hoop front. And ever since I've done that,
Yeah.
the designs have worked better as well.
Oh, good.
Because I think some of them I put the design in back to front because
Yep.
of my design, and the when I was doing the final stitching, it was going over the wrong way.
It was going a bit wonky.
Yeah. And I thought, you're doing something wrong, Louise. And that's what I worked about. So, as I've gone along, I've learned so much by doing this applique.
Oh, I'm so pleased.
Yes.
And that's what we want. Like, we want to be learning new stuff.
Well, yes. And that was my aim. The reason for doing this quilt was to learn more things. And it's been really, lockdown's been a very bit much a learning curve for me.
Yes.
Sewing wise and living wise.
Oh, look, I used to think I was, pretty good technologically speaking. But I've certainly learnt new things in lockdown. My darling son feels free to lord things over me all the time.
Every now and then you can kind of... Hey, boy.
And Michelle, it's lovely that you're working out all around North Queensland where every bakery is. So then we start with the applique, and all I'm doing is...
So how many colours are we having in this one?
we're having 3 fabric colours. And I have not stuck religiously to putting the blocks together. Hi Didi, how you going today? I have not stuck religiously to putting the blocks together in the same way as they are in the original photo. I've taken poetic license, and by poetic license I mean I was too lazy to look up the grid, and I just sat there and joined what I thought looked good. Now, normally...
You didn't listen to your teacher.
Oh, not that chick. Now, normally, we do everything, laying down all of the fabrics first, and then doing the stitching. This block comes a little bit out of left field, because we need to be able to layer up some of these things. So, we're doing the quilting on the circle first. And I'm just going to set up Louise's machine so that she can see exactly what's going to stitch on next.
Oh, good.
So we had a cleaning up weekend on Friday. I looked at the weather and saw that it was going to be a really nice weekend here. So I went and hired a skip, and by Saturday afternoon we had almost filled a 6 cubic metre skip.
I'm very impressed.
Well, and it was stuff that we've been waiting to go to the tip for 4 months, but every time we go to go, they'd lock it down, they'd...
And really and truly, it's much easier to hire.
It is. So we did the skip thing, and at the other reason that I did it was because I was cleaning my office, and it was a really good opportunity to then throw all the trash in that as well.
And you're lucky because you've got...
Plenty of rubbish to put in it, yeah.
No, you've got 4 grown adults to help you.
You'd think, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Were your teenagers good at helping at their age?
Yeah.
Were they?
Yeah.
That kind of sucks.
Oh, well, so...
Just as in, I wish mine were.
Yeah, to that extent.
Okay, so now
Chantal was the best.
I'm just trying to work out what colour, because I wasn't expecting to have something in the middle there. So I'm coming back to my block to see what I've got. Okay, that's cool. So in the middle, I'm going to have my yellow. And the other thing that I've done is I was showing Louise earlier, and I won't do it now because we don't want to raise her and lower her. But where I've moved my embroidery only machine, my embroidery only machine thankfully is much lighter than the 15,000, and I've popped it onto a sit-stand table so that I can raise it up and I don't have to be sitting in front of it to use it. So this week, that machine is going to be finishing off all of my borders, because I can just come by and reset it, and it just makes it so much simpler when you don't have to sit down in front of it. Julie Dodds, hi. Lovely to see you. Now, I'd seen that you'd sent me a message too. Yes, we do still have the embroiderer's felt. And thankfully, I got delivery of that before my dealer went into, or had a COVID case at their warehouse. So feeling a little smug about that one. Oh, you should see what Louise is going home with today, guys. In the cleanup, so many of my samples are going to Louise for a, because she does a lot of charity things in the community. And then there's a box of visor flips that I borrowed off her, about 10, not visor, were all different interfacings. And I borrowed them off her about 10 months ago from what I can remember. And it was always, don't stress, I'll come and get them when I need them. And Louise has been wondering where they were for the last, 4 months? And I just figured she hadn't come to get them yet.
That's okay.
Now, this is an interesting one because it goes into that seam. So we want to make sure that we are leaving that extra bit of fabric there to tuck into the seam. And that's on each edge. From the School of the Compulsive Way of Cleaning, I even sat there last night and I was ironing all of my scraps of vinyl and cork, like all of the little, 2-inch pieces that I've collected over the time that you're going to use sometime sooner or later, maybe.
So you can put them in your bits here.
So that I can put them into different pieces, yes. So I've now got cases of, and you can have a look, the top box there, Louise, is specialty fabrics. I've got one box of specialty fabrics. I've got one box of fat quarters, and we're talking 100-litre boxes, unfortunately. One box of over a fat quarters. And as most of us know, still can't find whatever it is I need.
Yeah. Oh, that means a trip to the fabric shop.
Hobby Sew now, I think, wonder when I don't call them when I haven't left a message for them on a Monday morning.
Yeah, I did the wrong colour.
But it all blends in together.
No, I've done red on red and you can't really see it.
But I've done pink on pink and you can't see it either. And last of this segment, and this one was really all about the layering. So now we're going to layer the yellow on top of the orange. Now, because I've already got the orange in here, going into that seam, the yellow is only going to sit there at the very top. I'm not worried about leaving extra yellow to go into that seam. So I can be that little bit stingier. Naturally, never do what I'm doing. Always wait till the machine stops. So then it was circle the arrow. So every month when Louise comes down here to do the Rock the Casbah, she comes down here at about 10:30, and I know in my heart that her plan is that she's going to start early so that we ideally finish at the same time.
What a joke.
Never have I ever.
What a joke.
I was supposed to have a friend come over on Saturday and quote on extending out Eduardo's little den of iniquity.
Oh.
But, you know, some people are so rude. He got an offer of, he had to go into the actual job. Some people just have no respect. The woman whose husband it is. I've worked with her in my computer life and in my computer teaching life. And she's a young girl. They had their first child last year. She called me this week because she needed somebody who was going to be at home to take a delivery of a set of number plates. Because for her husband's birthday, she's bought him a motorbike. I said, you only bought him a motorbike like 3 years ago. Oh, yeah, but, you know, it's not like we've been together forever like you guys. When we've been married 20 years, you know, you'll get a box of chocolates and a kiss on the cheek. I'm telling this to Edward, and he sits there, wow, a kiss on the cheek and a box of chocolates. He hasn't yet worked out that the next birthday in our house is mine.
Motorbike is expensive.
It is, isn't it? Well, particularly when you bought him 3 years ago.
Where did they get the money from?
I know. Well, she said, you know, oh yeah, you should be able to do it by Christmas for you, because I want a, she wants a new diamond ring for Christmas. So she wants him to do the job so that so that she's got money for a diamond. To be young again.
Oh well, we all work differently.
Oh, you know, your 20s are supposed to be about spending your money, and you know, if you're smart, they won't be. But okay. They just sold a house. The ex-drug house on Tilliard Drive. Isn't it lovely that Louise knows exactly what I'm talking about? Okay, so let me show you some of the stuff that I've been working on. So, I've just finished this week and it is on the website. Actually, no, it might not be on the website. So, ready to pop on the next, which is the Florist Gump zip pouch. And I'm now up to 7. So this week it was the Literary Delights. That went up on Friday, so that one will go up this week, and then the week after we've got the Fashion Avenue pouch. So that is the next in that set. The other one that I've done is this great little zippered case. Loving my little zip tabs. And this is only the prototype, so I've got to go and do the final version. But it holds all or my entire stitch eraser and keeps it all perfectly together. It even has room for the cable. So that was my Saturday afternoon stitching. Okay, let's have a look at where we are up to. Sorry guys, my Stream Deck's having an absolute fit at the moment. So, we come back and the next part that I'm going to do Murphy's Law says machine camera. There we go. Have to go old school. So my next colour is going to be my little pops of green. for those of you who joined up, or anyone who is interested in joining up to the Great International Craft Show's classroom, it has more than 900 classes by different teachers. We did, I've done most of the Great International Craft Shows. I think I've only missed one. And there is going to be, I'm just going to bring up the details. So on Thursday evening from 4 o'clock onwards, and I am the first teacher at 4 o'clock, there is going to be a special series called An Evening With. And you can see that it's me, we've got Logan's Patchwork, Know How Sewing, Little Desert Quilt, Michelle's Patchwork, Stamping Up, J Craft, Wabi Sabi, Pauline's Quilter's World, and Wacky Jackie's. We are each going to do a half-hour session. When you do mine, or when you sign up to mine, you are also getting, and I'm just looking for the right one. So we are doing with our a free design. So you will either so week 1, and I honestly cannot remember whether which design I'm doing first. Weeks 1 and 2, I'm doing the Sheer Genius pouch and the gorgeous little 3D tea towel set, and those designs will be offered as freebies. And you can search up Great International Craft Show and find details of that and how to join that through. Have you seen that one, Louise?
Yeah, I've seen it, but I'm a bit thick on how to join up. What you do to join up.
Yes. Actually, I meant the tea towel, but that's cool too. Okay.
So you can just press on it, and you can then watch one after the other after the other?
Yes.
Is that the idea?
That's the idea.
Oh, wow. And how much does that cost?
So the subscription, if you signed up in September, the subscription was free for the first month. And other than that, I think it's $20 a month, and there's 900 plus classes on there now.
Oh my goodness. So it's $20 per month for how long?
Well, for as long as you want to subscribe.
I just want to finish your quilt first before I do anything else.
And Sandra Johnson's watching. How you doing, Sandra? So what's everybody up to this week? Anyone doing anything fun?
Yes, I've got my little grandson's 13th birthday dinner at my house
Oh,
tonight.
that's beautiful.
Yes, Cooper turns 13. So they all nominated to come to my place for dinner.
Of course.
Yeah. So I have next contact.
Well, I was thinking if we get out of lockdown, I was thinking of ducking up to Sydney for the weekend. Until I thought about it, and I've got chemo on Monday, so possibly that would not be the best use of my weekend. I'd hate to get stuck or.
Yeah.
And I really thought, for some reason, I thought I had chemo at 9, and then at 4 o'clock when I'd normally be finishing up, I had to go and see the specialist. And I thought, oh, well, that's really smart, putting them on the same day. Yesterday they called me just to confirm my appointment for today.
Oh, right.
So I had to rush out this morning and get blood work done, because I'd totally forgotten about it.
Oh, right. Yeah, because you always have to have the blood work done beforehand.
Oh, Diddy's getting ready for her hubby and the grandson's combined birthday. Oh, that's lovely.
Got a combined birthday.
Gwen Smith, hi, how you doing today, Gwen? Yeah, we had my sister. My sister had 2 children born the 4th of May and the 7th of May. Dad and his twin brother are the 2nd of May. My sister-in-law is the 2nd of May. So May's always been a bit of a big one.
It's Chantel's birthday tomorrow as well.
Oh, okay. So you're celebrating that as well?
Yeah.
And the girls, I mean, they're Christmas Day babies.
Yeah. And you do something in July as well?
Yes, Christmas afternoon is always the girls' birthday. And last Christmas, we cancelled Christmas and just had the girls' birthday. Well, we'd left all their presents in Sydney and Sydney was closed down, so it was kind of easy. Oh, Diddy, your daughter's finished all of her chemo now. That's wonderful. How is she doing? So far as I'm aware, I've got 2 more IV treatments, and then I've got another 4 months or 5 months of tablet treatment, and then it counts as remission that we're hoping will last for up to 5 years before we've got to go through it all again. I'm a little disturbed. The last month it was okay to see the doctor just via video chat. This month the doctor wants to see me. So it's kind of like being called into the principal's office. I love this orange. It's just so spring-like. Didn't we have beautiful weather on the weekend, Louise?
Yeah.
It was just so lovely. And now it's back to being absolutely miserable and 11 degrees. Oh, Gwen Smith's got her wedding anniversary. Now, Gwen, where are you? Oh, no. Okay. Sorry, I thought you were saying you were celebrating your wedding anniversary and Mother's Day this weekend. I get it now. Yes. Well, we got married day before Australia Day.
That's easy to remember then.
Well, it is. But Mel died, my brother, the day, well, it counts as the 27th, but he was found on the 27th. We think he died somewhere between the 26th and 27th. And then Mum was 2 days after. But I was always so happy that she hadn't passed on my wedding anniversary. That would have been just terrible. Oh. Okay, so Dee Dee's daughter's doing well. It's one of the things that I've really learned during my treatment process is just that there are so many different treatments for different types of cancer. And I feel a little bit like a fraud sometimes because my hair hasn't thinned out more than it has previously. I lost about half an eyebrow, but that came back as well. So, I mean, yeah, thankfully my treatment, although I'm achy and I'm tired, like, I'm the most blessed person around, and I absolutely know it. How's yours going, Louise?
Oh, it's very nice.
Now, did you want to pass me your blocks and I'll show the ladies the blocks that you've been working on as well? Okay. So, proving that Louise has been doing her homework.
As my teacher instructs me to.
These are Louisa's blocks that she's been doing. Ooh, that purple with the green, Louise, is stunning.
It is nice, isn't it?
That's yeah.
And that's actually a striped fabric. And I
Okay.
put it on the exact same place each one.
That's really beautiful. Oh, I like that alternating the colours too.
Maybe I should do that again on this one.
So, those are Louisa's blocks so far. I'm going to leave that favourite one there for a second because I just want to see. I know that there's been people who've been putting up their designs.
Yeah, I have put one on.
Yes. This is just what people have been doing. Oh, Diddy, absolutely my strongest prayers and best regards for your daughter. That's going to be a nasty thing for all of you to go through. So this was Tracy Gardner's, and this was one of the free designs that we had last year. Fiona's been working on some beautiful blocks. And these were Fiona's mechanical designs.
Excuse me, can I just ask what kind of edging is going on the yellow?
Satin.
Satin.
There is just something so pretty about the satin stitching.
I love it.
Next week is one of my favourite design collections, and every time I see these designs, what goes through my mind, does anybody remember the 1980 something movie Victor Victoria with James Garner, Julie Andrews, and oh damn, I forget the other guy's name. And it was very, very Art Deco set. And the song Jazz Hot Baby. Won't you play me that jazz hot baby? Sort of sits there in my mind. And we are going to do some of the Art Deco divas. And we're going to do a triptych. So there's 3 of them, and you can buy them in a as a 3-pack, or you can buy the entire collection if you love them as much as I do. And so these are the 3 that you are going to get. And they are so fun and beautiful to do. Applique is always great, and what I love about these gals is just the way the overstitching really brings them into their own. And let's come back. And I'm still umming and ahhing what I'm going to do with my triptych, whether I'm going to keep it as the triptych, or whether I found some beautiful suede fabric in my cleaner, and I'm wondering whether it might end up being a bag. And then I'll have a head start on more stuff for next year. Oh, Gwen, they are beautiful ones to use. They really are. That, I mean, I've done them on the back of a denim jacket. I've done them in like a couple of different ways. I've done them in both with dark hair on a white background, with blonde hair on a dark background, And once again, it's a great way of using up your scraps of fabric. Ah, now that's interesting. And I'm just reading on the Great International Craft Show, and we are all very optimistically planning for classes to be going ahead again, or not classes, for craft shows to be going ahead again next year. They are, when you join up to the Great International Craft Show, you then get free entry into physical shows as well, which is kind of cool. Okay, so I'm loving how that one is coming along. I'm going to have to work out how I can get rid of the closed captioning, because I'm assuming you guys find it as freaky as I do to see all of that. But I have high hopes that by this weekend I can actually turn off the heater. I know, you really wouldn't want to do it at the moment, would you?
We're not paying for water to water your garden, so...
True. And our garden's looking great. We are actually, we're eating salad out of the garden at the moment. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Our lettuce is coming beautifully. And when Edward was pulling apart the old swing set from when the kids were little, he's taken the A-frame and put it up over the garden to turn it into his little greenhouse.
There you go.
So we're reusing crap like no one's business. No, we've got plenty of parsley. I've got rosemary up the wazoo if you ever need it. The lemon tree's doing well. So Thursday evening, we're going to finish off the, we're going to stitch the 4-piece block. I know, I don't think I'm going to get both done. This one's taking longer than I thought, which is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, but that's only at 4 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
I'm very happy. In my cleanup, I've managed to come across another spool of my yellow and my orange. The only one that I don't have another colour of is my green.
Oh, right. Have you got enough green?
I think so. And I've got one that's fairly close. It's just not quite, but I think it'll do.
What are you going to do with that quilt? Is it going to be a special? You're going to keep it quilt?
With what quilt?
This one again.
Oh yes. So because this version is the smaller version, this will probably be the version that travels around with me next year to all the shows.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because it's a smaller space on the wall.
Yeah. And also it's different colours to what people normally. Yeah. And there's lots of people that are looking for different colours to put.
Absolutely.
And they're sick of seeing those colours.
Well, I mean, but because they aren't my colours, that to me is interesting. And the way everybody uses different colours is interesting to me. I think there was one lady who'd done,
Well, see, these are different colours to what I normally get used to.
there was one lady who'd done, I think, all blues.
Yes, I saw one. Yeah.
And wasn't that just beautiful?
Oh, it was gorgeous. It'd be interesting to know how many people have used it. Do you know how many people you have sold
Oh yeah.
to?
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting people have actually made it.
Oh, look, it's the joy, and it's the joy of my life when people send photos that they've finished something or done something, or
Yeah.
it's just wonderful.
I would just feel so honoured that they've actually used my
Yeah.
design. Yeah.
So pretty. Self-praise and all that crap.
Yeah, but it's yeah.
I love it when things work. Okay, so I'm back now to my wash away thread.
And I'm just starting to. But I did take a long time because when you showed the stripes going crossways, I've decided to sew the stripes going lengthways on this one.
Perfect. Okay, for some reason that doesn't want to do that. So we'll thread it like the Amish do. I was watching a documentary the other day and I thought it was really interesting. It was on caravans for some reason, and they were at the Jayco factory, and the Jayco factory in America hire a lot of Mennonites and Amish people. And I've never thought, and it sounds stupid even coming out of my mouth, I get it. I've never particularly thought of the Amish as having jobs. But they are allowed to have jobs, and they are allowed to... Now, because I've cut that at the exact right size, I can then pop that right the way over.
The back of that quilt's going to be very interesting to have a look at when you finish.
With the 300 colours.
Yes.
Very Joseph and his coat. But yes, the Amish and the Mennonites are allowed to have jobs using power tools and everything during the day. They're just not allowed to use them at home.
Oh.
So these people are building caravans and RVs that they're not allowed to drive or use. And I found that really fascinating.
Raise, press it, please. Okay. So now I'm stitching little angles. What am I stitching little angles? Oh, are they just decoration bits?
Yes.
So what colour am I going to stitch those?
That was what we were watching on Disney Plus. There is a series of, and it's basically sort of Jeff Goldblum investigates.
Oh, okay.
And you know he was delving deep into the whole process of, you know, the whole caravanning craze and.
Yes, it's a real craze, isn't it? Really, when you think about it.
Now,
I would have loved to have done a bit of that kind of caravanning stuff, but Carl's not interested. I think he has a fear of parking the caravan
okay.
because it comes from he never parked. We used to have a boat, right? And he never parked, drove the truck that pulled the boat.
Okay.
He was the person who drove the boat. So his father had the car that drove the boat. And then when his father got too old, my son-in-law drove his car.
Uh-huh.
So Carl always drove the boat. So Carl never learned to drive a parker boat.
Oh, wow.
Caravan, and he doesn't know how to do it.
Okay.
So, and I think that's what it is. He doesn't want to. Then don't even ask.
Edward wouldn't mind, you know, a caravanning lifestyle. I'm fine as a holiday, but I don't want to own my own van. No interest whatsoever.
No. I've been there, done that, and don't want to do it again.
We would need a lotto win for me to have the quality of caravan that I would require. And after our class, I am going to be using this fabric. I'll show you what I've got. Using this Cars fabric to create a mask for my little boy.
Oh.
Because if he bitches at me one more time, can I have a mask? Can you make it with the nose pieces? And Lynn sent me some nose pieces.
So is he going to use it at work, is he?
Yes.
Oh, right.
And he's got work on this afternoon, so I might as well shut him up. He cooked me dinner last night, though, so I'll probably keep him.
What?
He cooked my dinner last night.
Oh, right.
Chops and salad.
Oh, that's always nice, isn't it?
Emmy's making tomato soup from scratch tonight. I do hope she remembers, but I don't want to tell her until after she has a meeting with her teacher. Because I don't want to stress her out anymore, because she already is.
Who's got a meeting?
Em's.
Oh, right. Why is she stressed that way?
She's struggling with remembering to hit the submit button on her work. And then of course the teachers think she hasn't done it, and that is just her idea of hell, like being the person who doesn't submit the work.
Oh, poor darling.
Is just not what she wants at all.
No.
Okay, so I'll come back. And this is my block, so I can then take those out. Now, I'm not worried about there being two lines of stitching here because, of course, we've done them with wash away thread. So it does not matter to us. And then I'm just going to come along and use my little curvies. And trim away that excess, and then I can trim the block. Now it really does not matter that there will be more of the backing fabric than there is the top fabric. And the reason that that doesn't matter is because once we've pulled it into the seam, let's pretend that we've joined these two seams together. We're actually going to trim away all of this side, and then we are going to fold over and either stitch or use our basting tape or Visaflix tape to secure. So it will not be an issue. And that allowed me to be that little bit stingier and to make sure that I had enough fabric to get me through the last 13 blocks.
Oh, anything to have enough fabric.
Oh, and I'm really on a thing trying to not turn into my mother and to use things up. So I was trying very, very hard. Okay, so that is my block for today.
What's happened here?
And
What's wrong?
okay, so that is my block for today. You can see there up the back we've got our Christmas sampler that has now 3 blocks done on it, and we will be adding another block on Sunday afternoon. I'm also now halfway through the boutique series, and you can see some of the great handbags that we've got going along there for our bag of the month. Oh my god, I'm so sorry guys. For our bag of the month class next year as well. So next week we are going to do the Deco Divas, so pull out some of your scraps of fabric and get ready to have some fun. These ladies are amazing. Until next time, have a